Hey there, everyone. I'm Marc Alcubé, the host of Experts podcast, and this video is extracted out of a longer interview with Susan Haxon, an Irish woman who has lived more than 20 years in France and is now coaching expats on how to quit alcohol.
Connected to it.
Exactly. I always say it's never just a glass of wine, you know. It's it's definitely because the tradition is to just stop doing whatever behavior you want to get rid of, like stop with the sugar, stop with the coffee, stop with the alcohol. But we rarely stop to think, how does that make me feel? How do I what how do I feel when I want that thing? You know, what is the emotion that's behind it? Like, and what's the emotion I'm looking for? Maybe I'm not trying to, get away from something. Maybe I'm just trying to, there's an emotion I'm after, and maybe I feel like it's in that glass of wine, or that millefeuille au vanille or something like that. So yeah, it's very much emotion based rather than behavior based. That said, I mean, we work towards an actual break from alcohol in order for the alcohol to leave your system and to do life, to do things, to do feelings without a drink. And that's where, again, the experimental part of it comes in again. It's like experimenting with those situations where you'd normally be first at the bar ordering a cocktail. What are you going to do now? How are you gonna handle that situation with people who are going to be there going, what do you want to drink? And you're not drinking? Why? So it's all very, getting out there and doing it,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think you can imagine a little bit, or everyone can sympathize a little bit with the social part of it. Like everyone can understand a little bit like the social pressure that is always there. That's very easy to understand. But how much of this process is also like the alcohol being inside of your body still? Like how much of the detox part of it and your body getting used of not having that substance anymore? Because that's also like the abstinence, no? A little bit like when with the symptoms of leaving any other drug, there is a lot of talk about how your body processes the leaving of that substance through some time. What are the steps with alcohol? What is the most common thing that you see in there?
Yeah. Well, alcohol use is, like it's a whole big spectrum. So you'll have the, teetotaler and the champagne at Christmas people on this end, and then the people who are like physically, like chemically addicted to alcohol on the other end, who need medical help and medical supervision, and it's for whom it's actually extremely dangerous just to go cold turkey like that. And then in between those two ends of the spectrum, there's sort of everybody else who's a regular-ish drinker. And so it takes, if you're like a fairly regular drinker, it takes like 7 days for, the medical people say, takes 7 days for alcohol to actually fully leave your system. And so the thing about alcohol and it being a drug is that the way your brain and your body works is that it's expecting it. So if you drink regularly, your body's reaction to alcohol like sort of kicks off before you've even had that glass. That's like we were talking about, 5 p.m. on a Friday. Your brain is going, come on lads, here we go, come on, and sees the bottle of beer or the glass of wine, or here's that, pop. And then it already gets that little, dopamine hit, and off you go, party central, way off you go for the glass of wine. So when you don't give it that, it feels extremely uncomfortable. And you look at the clock and it's 5 p.m. on a Friday, and your brain will already have like given you a little taster of what's to come, even though you've decided it's not coming. And so you have that that sort of hunt for the homeostasis. Your body's always trying to level out these things. So when you get a boost of like an unnatural boost, shall we say, or an unsustainable boost of something like dopamine, it's going to release something on the other end to like bring you down a bit so that you're on that, so you're more level. And so that's why it feels so uncomfortable for the first however long it's going to take. Everybody's a little bit different. And so that's the sort of your brain part. And then your body as well is when you start drinking, your body stops, sort of like digesting food and doing other things to focus on eliminating the alcohol. So your body's just going, once you stop putting it in, it's just going to go full whack to clean out whatever's left in your system. And so people you can start sweating a lot. You can start maybe not smelling like a rose, things like that, and having like wanting all the sugar, things like that, looking for the sort of the dopamine and all that, and looking for all the sugar that's in the alcohol, and so it can feel like physically a little bit uncomfortable, but then again depends how you look at it. If you look at it as your amazing bod, doing its thing and like detoxing you, then it doesn't feel so uncomfortable, But I would say anybody who's worried about how much alcohol they're drinking, that they really say to your doctor, I've been drinking, but I'm going on a detox. I just want to check. I just want to be sure, is there something I should do apart from obviously drinking lots and lots of water, getting lots of sleep, and eating lots of protein? Because a coach isn't a medical professional, so it's always important to check with your doctor. Yeah,
makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. I mean, I suppose at the end it's a whole medical, mental and body process. It's good that at least let people know and inform someone. I will ask you a couple of more questions more before we finish the episode, if that's okay. The first one, it's like, what is the it's the goal with everyone that you coach, it's quitting 100%, or do you have people who are coming just to reduce their habits, for example, or arriving to a level that they feel comfortable again? Where is the spectrum? I don't know how to say it.
It's very interesting. Yeah, it's very interesting. So, I myself never intended to stop drinking. I only ever went down that whole, sober curious road, looking to reduce my drinking. There was, because in my mind there was no way I was going to never have wine again, which is not something I say, but it's I completely lost the desire to drink. And when people come talk to me, it is extremely rare that somebody says, right, that's it, I'm done, I do not want to drink again, I'm fed up with the whole thing. It's almost always to take a break from drinking, or to reduce, so that after the break they go back to sort of, in inverted commas, normal drinking, because we have this sort of I guess traditional view of the good drinker, the normal drinker, and the bad drinker who can't control themselves and things like that. So it's rare that someone will say, I never drink. I want you to help me to never drink again. It's always to moderate. But that is exactly why, of course, because we believe so firmly that alcohol has its place in our life, and it has an important place in our life, so of course, and until you sort of unpack that a little bit and ask yourself a few questions and start looking at how it became so important for you, apart from the the physical aspect of it, then yeah, you'll still want to go back to doing that thing that you don't want to do, but you still want to do.
Then in that sense, like to complete this question, like how many of the people that you coach really like, okay, they enter through with the idea of reducing and then saying, okay, whatever, I want just a break, whatever. How many of these people it's just like finishing the 3 months or the 12 weeks and saying, okay, I'm not drinking again.
If you liked this short video out of the full episode, you can find the link to it around here and in the description below. Of course, if you are also interested in checking out other episodes, please subscribe and like.